Welcome back. Our next guest is a certified life coach, personal development expert, and author of the book Conqueror Mindset, Conquer the Monster. He's helped hundreds to stop coping and start conquering stress, self-doubt, addiction, childhood trauma, and fear.
We welcome Rob Conqueror Roberts back to our live show. Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
I was listening to a song the other day, and the song was called Keep Your Monster on a Leash.
Okay.
You've taken that to another level. You not only have it on a leash, you've conquered it.
Wow.
And that is basically where we're going to start here, is that all the self-doubt and all the stuff that everybody has, you got to learn how to deal with it.
You do, and I agree with you 100%. I was speaking with one of my clients recently, and she suffered from something called amophobia, which is the fear of sand. And as you already know with all phobias, we have to go down to the root cause. Don't pay attention to the fruit, go down to the root. When I spoke with her, she told me that when she was younger, her brothers and sisters buried her from the neck down in sand at a beach. The water was coming towards her, bugs were coming towards her. Her parents and brothers and sisters were just laughing at her. She ended up having a lot of anger, unforgiveness, and hatred towards her family, but more importantly, it was the fear of sand. We fast forward 40 years, and now she's seeing psychologists and therapists and taking a lot of anti-anxiety medication, and she's suffering. I met up with her one time at a park. Knowing her story, I gave her a tall glass of sparkling water, and I told her, I said, you know that if you heat up sand to 3,000 degrees, it turns into glass. Once I said that, she saw herself differently, and a switch went off. Something just clicked with her, and she jumped into the sand pit that was nearby on the volleyball course. Instead of doing snow angels, she did sand angels.
Wow.
So I ended up buying her one of those little hourglasses that you flip over with the sand, and a couple months ago, I got a photo from her and her husband, and it was them on a sandy beach finally enjoying a vacation. No medication, no psychologist, no therapist, and she's cured.
What a success story right there. And it really just goes to show we have this power in ourselves that we can fight that monster. We can take it down, and we can live happier, more present lives.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. We do. We do have that power internally.
Yeah.
All right, so we started with coping and figuring out what you fear and kind of dealing with that. Next up on a list here that you laid out for us, clear the clutter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of times, and I made up a quote a long time ago, and it says, sweep before you mop. So I'll say it again, sweep before you mop. Yeah. A lot of times we try to do it a different way, and we wonder why things get a little murky and a little convoluted. So think of our mind almost as a house with an attached garage. A house that's full of clutter, it makes it easier for a pest or a vermin to enter inside. So we look at this monster of fear, stress, anxiety, childhood trauma as that pest. They love homes that are full of clutter. So we see people who are extra busy and they kind of put themselves into their work and they don't handle things that are appropriate, and they wonder why they're dealing with this underlying monster. So if we have a house that's actually clear, it gives that pest no room to hide. So, when doing this, I actually think that, if we clean the clutter, we have to sweep before we mop. Now we don't leave those breadcrumbs for the monster that attracts them in the first place. A lot of times we look at these relationships and people say, hey, I married someone just like my parents. I can't believe it. What happens is they're not actually attracted to it, but they're so familiar with it because they never cleaned up and swept those breadcrumbs in their own life.
So we really owe it to ourselves to just always be sort of that work in progress. And you say too that you should set healthy boundaries with love.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful thing to do.
Thank you. And the key word is with love. A lot of times we just want to set healthy boundaries, but it is with love. In order to set healthy boundaries with love, we first have to have what? Self-love.
Yeah.
And that's knowing your worth and knowing who you are. I coach a lot of people from different professions, professional athletes, doctors, attorneys, stay-at-home moms and dads. And I ask them, I say, who are you? And they tell me, well, I'm my position or title. So when I say, besides your title, who are you really? And that's usually 95% of the people say, Rob, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys do that a lot. You ask what you are, and you say, well, I'm a disc jockey, or I'm a TV host. Or,
you get your identity through your work or something else.
Thank you. And I agree with you 100%. And that's what happens. It becomes our identity. So we got to think of a tombstone. That first date is the date in which we're born. The last date is the day on which, we're not here anymore. But that hash mark in between, that's where we are right now. So we have to live in between the hashes. And when we do this, we're going to live intentionally. We're going to understand the internal battle between who we used to be and who we want to be, between how we think and how we feel. We have to remember that we have to choose peace over drama and distance over disrespect. So I always say that the most powerful moment in our life is the next decision we choose to make.
Wow. Wow.
Distance over, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Distance over disrespect?
Yeah.
Meaning what?
Yes, let's just say for the holidays, for example, I had a couple of clients who were like, Rob, I'm dreading going to Thanksgiving. I'm dreading going to see my family on Christmas. So I said, Why are you going there?
Yeah.
Switch went off. Wow, in order for me to not get disrespected, how about I don't go this time and keep my peace by having a conqueror mindset this holiday season? And that's usually what happens. A lot of times we choose to put ourselves in places and spaces that we don't belong, and we wonder why consistently we're uncomfortable.
This is falling down. I want to put this up here, but you know, we really do, we have to talk about the
I'll just
fact-
hold it.
Yeah, let's just hold it because that's not working with us today. But we really do, we have to honor ourselves and because those traumas will continue to build up if we don't really take care of ourselves, and then we can't take care of anybody else if we're not doing that first.
Wow, and what you said is so heavy, and I wish other people would understand what you're saying right now, because we sometimes become a people pleaser.
Yep.
I'm
I'm a recovering people pleaser right here, so.
That is something else, and you're absolutely right. So once we recognize that within ourselves, kind of taking that accountability to say, sometimes it's okay to put that airplane mask on you first, so now you can take care of other people. I always tell people that it's okay for us to look at things from a bright perspective rather than get lost in the fog and lose our focus when we're trying to do something outside of ourselves.
Fantastic. Always good having you in. And we always learn a lot. Conqueror mindset.
Yeah, I feel ready to conquer the day. So
We'll
thank you
find
for
out
this
about that in a few
conversation.
minutes,
Yeah, I'll
actually.
be doing a push-up coming up.
For more information on this topic or the services that Rob Conqueror Roberts provides, just visit the link on our show website by early this afternoon, virginiathismorning.com.
And we've been talking about it. Rob's going to hang around, and later on the show, we're going to be doing a push-up challenge that he created to bring awareness to multiple sclerosis, a great cause. We're going to be happy to do it here, so stay tuned.